Hey, good people, David Taub here with NextLevelGuitar.com. We are here at Anaheim NAMM 2020, and we are with amp legend builder Mike Soldano at the Soldano booth. Mike, I want to thank you so much for making some time for us in your busy schedule, and it's such a pleasure to be with you here today again this year.
Thanks, yeah, it was my pleasure, and we talked last year, so go ahead and hit me with some questions, and I'll give you an update of where I've been in the last year. I had been talking to boutique amps, and we didn't really have a full-on game plan, but we knew that we wanted to keep the legacy products for sure, and then expand on that. And so, rather than just kind of keep making the same old thing I was making, we kind of took a year off, took the same amp, the SLO100, didn't change anything tonally, but just gave it a few little updates that it was definitely in need of over time. And we've come out with a new product that I'm thrilled with. We have
well, let's talk about the SLO100 specifically for a second, because in the last video we did with you, and it got an incredible reaction and so many views and likes, and everybody was commenting on how they wanted you to keep the SLO amp, the 100, and they were excited to hear when you decided to do the 30. So tell us what's new, tell us about the SLO100, what's a little different, and just take us through it.
Okay, so it's still all the original Soldano mojo. Nothing has changed tonally. But there were a few things that I'd been wanting to change over time that I never really had gotten around to doing. And so one of them was I wanted to make the amp a little bit quieter when it's just sitting there with no signal going through it. High gain amps can tend to take even the most minor tube noise and really amplify it. And over the years, 12AX7 tubes have been declining a little bit in their quality, at least in their ability to reject noise. And so towards the end of my regular production, it got to be the point where I'd be spending an hour on every amp, hand selecting a couple of really quiet tubes for the first two positions in every SLO I built. And that got to be tedious. And what was even more tedious is for an end user, it was frustrating because they'd buy a brand new set of tubes, throw it in their amp, and all of a sudden the amp would be noisier than it was before because they didn't have the luxury of hand selecting from a whole box of tubes like I did. So the way to solve that problem is you just put DC current on the heaters instead of AC. So the brand new SLO has DC heaters. This amp is dead quiet. When there's no signal going through this thing, there is no sound coming out of the speakers. So that was job one. The second thing that needed addressing, and I actually chuckle about this now because for years, for 3 decades, I could never make everybody happy with my effects loops. You know, the rack mount guys loved it, the pedal guys hated it. I would do mods to make the pedal guys happy, then the rack guys would be, you know, like miffed by it. So we did a radical new effects loop in this. We moved it after the master volumes, which gave us a little more control over what the signal was we were sending to the effects.
It's still between the preamp and the power amp?
No, now it's not, it used to be between the tone controls, now it's between the preamp and the power amp. And we lowered the nominal level so it'll actually work with pedals without overloading them. We put a level return control on the back of the amp, so now you can actually even fine-tune the return level. And on the foot switch, we added a second button so that now you can kick the effects loop in and out via foot switch or with a manual switch on the back of the amp. So this has really added a lot of versatility to the amp. That it was already a really versatile amp, now it's a super versatile amp.
So it's like SLO 2.0 or SLO on steroids.
Yeah, it's SLO on steroids, exactly.
Hi again, Marisa here from Next Level Guitar. And if you would like a killer free video lead guitar lesson and a coinciding ebook, please click on the link below and we will send you them absolutely free from Next Level Guitar.
And then the other changes were, for years we offered a mod called the depth mod, where we added an extra control that added more bass to the power section. It was such a popular mod that now it's standard equipment on all SLOs. We just decided enough people like this, let's just build it in. For those that don't need it, they turn it to 0, it's not in the circuit. We added a switch to the front of the amp to switch between channels without the foot switch. With all the earlier SLOs, if you lost the foot switch or didn't have it with you, the amp was automatically in the overdrive channel, which if you were in a studio, that could be frustrating because you don't want to have to worry about the foot switch. Now you can switch it manually on the amp. Other than that, it's got all the same tone, all the same dynamics, all the same paint peeling power it had of the original SLO, and the same classic styling. The other advantage now to being involved with Boutique is they have a much more sophisticated wood shop than I ever had at my old facility. So now we have more customizing options available. You can order the amp with the classic metal grill look that we've always had, but you can also now get fabric inserts for the front. We have many new grill cloth options. We still have all the colors like we used to have. So you can virtually customize your SLO to be anything you want it to be.
And the snakeskin, of course.
And of course the classic snakeskin, gotta have that. So that's the new SLO. I just like to say I'm back better than ever and with renewed energy because I'm not being drugged down by my old duties, and so Soldano's here to stay.
That's great news, and your fans and lover of Soldano amps are going to be so glad to hear and so excited about the new products you have coming out. I want to thank you again for your time. You've always been so gracious.
Oh, thank you.
And we really appreciate it. We wish you the best. And this is David Taub coming to you from Next Level Guitar at NAMM Anaheim 2020. Mike Soldano, we're at the Boutique Amps booth, and we will see you next time.
You will. I'll see you next year.
Hi again, Marisa here from Next Level Guitar. Please check out our video instructional website. There are over 2,500 video lessons for all level players and all musical genres. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. That really helps keep the content coming.